I think maybe you'll agree with me that in our culture, we have a tendency to look up to those who wear a suit and tie. Growing up, those were the people that we most admired, whether they were bankers or attorneys, government officials. We had a tendency back then to look up to them because these were the symbols of authority. That's a fact. Well, right now, today, what I'd like to do is to keep it very short. And as usual, this little chit-chat is off the cuff, unscripted. And what I'd like to say is this. Many years ago, I was in Kingston. And in Kingston, I noticed a lot of the businessmen, bankers, attorneys, and so forth, would walk around in very dark suit, and it was 85 degrees outside. And I wondered, wouldn't it have been nicer if some person designed clothes that would suggest a business attire, but not really being so very warm, so very uncomfortable? But that thought came and it went. After all, I was just a visitor. Then, years later, I came across a man who was an expert on a certain bird in a certain geographic location. He knew everything there was to know about this bird. And again, I looked up to this guy because of his knowledge, not because of what he wore, his knowledge. The problem was that he was one of maybe 5 or 6 people in the world who was an expert on this particular bird at this particular location. The problem, as he saw it, was that he did not know how to make money with his extensive knowledge. I suggest that he just share it and allow money to come if it is to come. He disagreed because he said that what he wanted to do was to make money on his knowledge. Well, he died with the knowledge with him. I guess my bottom line is this. If I were you, and I'm speaking just to you right now, I wouldn't worry about the way you're dressed. I wouldn't worry about conveying a certain ideals or certain image or signals or symbols. What I would say to you is, no matter who you are, is to simply say it. Say it. What do I mean by that? Well, first of all, your views are your own. They're very unique and very special because they're based upon your specific knowledge, your specific intuition, your inspiration, and of course, something very, very unique and special just to you, your own experiences. So whatever it is, say it. And you may say, well, gee, I don't know if I have all the facts. That is not important. Trust me. As of today, it is what you know to be the truth. The one thing that you can absolutely guarantee is that in a few more years, your views will change. Your attitude will change. Your conclusions will be different. Why? Because that's the nature of things. Change. Change. So I say, whatever you know today, say it. Get a little camera like this one and say it. And share your knowledge. Share your knowledge. Share what you know today. Next year, you can always come back and say, well, what I knew back then is not what I know now. I have grown, my knowledge has increased, and my experiences have also been enhanced. So, the bottom line is this. Whatever it is you have to say it now. Do not be afraid of speaking your mind. You can always change it later. As you might have guessed, I have had the opportunity and the privilege to travel to many different countries. And I consider that a privilege, really. And in every country that I have visited, when I speak to people who think for themselves, they all, and I mean they all, had something very important to say. One of the reasons why I say you should say it. If you're an adult, if you think for yourself, then I can guarantee you that what you have to say is important. You just seem to not know it at times, but you should. Trust me. You need to find the courage to say what you have to say, even though you're aware that ridicule will follow. That's fine. That's fine. Ridicule is nothing more than somebody expressing themselves based upon what you have said. That's all. Negative or positive, that's their right to do so. Now, Microdacism was founded on a very simple premise. Think for yourself. In Microdacism, we suggest strongly that each individual should form their own school of thought, in other words, form their own religion based upon their knowledge, their experiences, their intuition, and what they want to believe or what they have come to believe. In other words, their conclusion is based upon being inspired to do so. Microdacism is all about the individual thinking for himself. Take a look at all the religions in the world, all of them, and you'll find that they were all formed by individuals who chose to think for themselves. They are no better than you are. As a matter of fact, quite often, you're probably far more intelligent than many founders of religions. So, thank you for allowing me to encourage you to say it, to think for yourself. Thank you so very much.